When I had a bout with cancer and felt really, really badly, there were many nights that I went down and spent with my horse. It's just a very comforting feeling. They do this little soft, blowy thing, and they know that you're there. And the time passes so fast. The night is over before you know it. I could go down there and just hang on her. She was my strength. She was my legs. She was my heart that wouldn't beat right. And I could just cry and talk and hang out. It was exactly what I needed at the time.
See, I grew up in the city. I was a city boy. And I always wanted to be a farmer. Well, the job gave me what I wanted. See, I started when I was 16, right after my mom died. For some reason, it just happened one day, and I kind of liked it. I didn't even know it was zoophilia until I got on the internet. I've been on the internet since 2002. It's the first time, ever. I had AOL to start with. It was really interesting to meet all these different people. And to this day, they're still friends of mine. There was never any money to change hands.
What's up, fellas? How's it going? Going all right. How you guys doing?
There was people offered me money.
I'm just going into the country for a while.
You should go to Pioneer Square. It's gonna be crazy, man.
Oh, maybe next time, right?
Say.
I wouldn't accept money from anybody because then it's prostitution. That's against the law. I knew that bestiality wasn't illegal in the state of Washington. A lot of times they just want to come out and see. We want to see if it's possible. Maybe I just want to grab a horse by his nuts and then feel his balls, how they feel. They're warm. The horse is still the biggest thing out there on the internet. I didn't invite him to my home, and I treat him like any other person that was in my house. I did summertime barbecues, Thanksgiving. I did Christmas dinners. One year we did turkey and a ham. The invite was on a weekend and in the evening.
Hello?
Hey, we're here.
Well, how was your flight?
The flight was long, but we're fine. Right now we're getting...
A Friday night we'd meet, and if I felt like it was okay for you to come out, I'd let you follow me home. If I felt like there was something about you that I didn't like, I'd say, we'll meet again, and I'd never meet with him again. We don't do this right off the bat. Sorry. When I met Mr. Hands, we did talk on the phone a little bit. And that's when he lived in Seattle. He was basically curious, like everybody was curious. And he had a good personality, so I invited him out.
I was just astounded at the beauty. You have that wildness, but then you have civilization too. It just kind of meshed together.
Us humans are so conditioned from the time we were born to start categorizing. And even if they're unconscious, or even subconscious, we start categorizing. Animals just not going to do that.
We'll be landing in Seattle in just under...
You're either a good person or a bad person.
The biggest of all munitions companies, Lockheed Martin Corporation, playing an important behind-the-scenes role in developing support for Bush's war with Iraq.
Yes, they did. They played a very influential role in various organizations that looked like they were simply public interest, public education organizations, but which had long advocated a war with Iraq ever since the 1991, the first war with Iraq. It's been to their, that is, war is the business. What I mean when I say it's not private enterprise is it is much more like state socialism. You have only one customer. The customer is not particularly interested in getting the best possible use of his money. He's much more interested in simply getting the contracts filled. Moreover, there's a huge circulation of elites today in the sense that most of the operating positions, appointed positions in the Pentagon today are executives from the military-industrial complex, whereas by contrast, any number of the high officials in these companies are retired, high-ranking American military officers.
Well, I want to thank you for being with us.
Chalmers Johnson. His piece appears in this month's Harper's. It's called War Business Squeezing a Profit from the Wreckage in Iraq, as well as David Bacon. Piece appears in Progressive Magazine. Chalmers Johnson piece ends. This is the future when war becomes the most profitable.
I get, 8 or 10, 15 people at the house. Drink, party, watch movies, play games.
Kind of potluck supper kind of thing. Some people would bring over some beans and chips and a meat entree or something. And of course, lots of beer. And once in a while, there was a few mixed drinks. It was kind of fun throwing all kinds of stuff into the blender and turning out things that kind of had a slushy flavor to them that about 6 or 7 of them would knock on your ass. You're going to put so many bottles of rum in some of this stuff. There's no special flashy, nothing going on that was all that strange and unusual. I mean, this goes on hundreds and thousands of places all over the country. Age was never really all that important, as long as you were old enough to drink. You weren't senile and could talk coherently. Conversation would always ensue.
Do you wear boxers or a thong?
Yeah. It was pretty much a classless society of our own little small world. No one had any kind of different statuses and who was this and who was that. There was no alphas and omegas and betas in it running around anywhere.
Being able to get away, just let everything hang. Anything I could bring up or want to talk about, it didn't matter what was on my mind. These were people I could trust. I could just let my hair down and not have to worry about things.
There was things in him that he really didn't want people to know. He wouldn't tell you. He wouldn't tell you the truth. It took me a long time to find out his real name. And it was about a year before I knew Mr. Hans' real name. It was always Mr. Hans. I go by Mr. Hans.